Today's video is going to be showing you how to properly use the Chaplain, Soldier's Grace. This is the achievement required in order to be able to access the Chaplain. The requirements include save 150 teammates from being grabbed. This means when a zombie is surrounding a player, by killing the zombie so they are no longer attached to a player, this classifies as one player safe. Kill 75 runners pinning your teammates. For this one you have to kill the fast running red eye zombies after they have tackled one of your teammates. A quick side note to this is if you have less health, more runners on one person, that person will die quicker. However, the more health you have and the less runners you have on that player, the more time you have to save them. Obtain the badge Vot Intimont. This is the badge you obtain from San Sebastian by going up to the section where Barry was. You must sacrifice yourself by lowering the platform for the other players. This is also discussed in the achievement description of Vos Intimont. And finally, heal 50 teammates at Surgeon. Basically, by playing as the medic class, you heal 50 players. This doesn't mean you have to heal them to full health, just up until the health has been registered in the game. After you've completed all these requirements, you might have to restart your game in order to unlock it. After that, you can now play as the Chaplain class. The shop. The Chaplain class has 6 items within the shop. However, none of these items are charged for a price because they are free. However, continuing from this, the Chaplain has the Stake, Crucifix, Blessing, and Water Bucket. I do have to point out, if you have not purchased the Water Bucket and you unlock the Chaplain, the Water Bucket will be able to be purchased for 50 francs and then be unlocked for every other class. The Delicious Leg and the Jack-o'-lantern has already been discussed how to obtain from a previous video. I'll leave a link for it here. The Blessing. The Blessing is a powerful tool that the Chaplain has, as it allows the player to cure an infection from another player. You will know if the player is infected as they will look a little grey or they will have an indicator calling for a Chaplain. However, if the player is too far from the curing stage, the player will become uncurable and thus turning into a zombie. Not only this, but the Blessing can also be used 3 times on various players. However, they must be not operating a cannon, on fire, or crippled, as the Blessing won't work. To add to this, the Blessing also has a 40-second cooldown time. However, if your Crucifix is on the recharge, by using the Blessing on a player, it will boost the Crucifix's recharge rate by 35. Also, to point out, the recharge meter on the Crucifix is 100, thus meaning by performing a Blessing beforehand, it charges the Crucifix by 1/3. Something to note as well is each time the player does a Blessing, the player will be awarded 3 franc. Not as much as the medic, however still quite useful. The Crucifix. The Crucifix is not a one-time use ability. It can be used for the duration of 12 seconds, although having a cooldown of 45 seconds. This is not a weapon and does not deal any damage, although it does stun any zombie variant except for the bomber for the duration you have the Crucifix active for. Not only this, but if you have some use of the Crucifix left, for example, you use the Crucifix but you haven't used all of the charge, the Crucifix will not recharge, thus meaning you have to use the full ability of the Crucifix in order to get it recharged. Not only this, but by manually unequipping the Crucifix, you use a fair proportion of the Crucifix's use. To be more accurately put, you lose a whopping 20% of the Crucifix's charge, so use it wisely. Something to mention is when the Crucifix is being used and a player nearby is being grabbed or pinned by a zombie, the Chaplain's ability will force the zombies back and thus stopping them from grabbing the players. Something to note as well is when you use the Crucifix by 1 full use, you will be awarded 1 franc. This isn't something I knew about, however it is confirmed via the wiki. I'll leave a link for it in the description. The weapons. The Chaplain only has 2 viable weapons at his disposal, including the Stake and the Delicious Leg. Now I won't go into detail because I'm pretty sure everyone by now knows that the Stake is better than the leg, so I'll keep it short. The Stake deals 25 damage, has a swing rate of 0.3 seconds, has only 1 penetration, has a short distance of only 6, however has a headshot multiplier of 2. It's also important to note that kills do not recharge the Crucifix, so please don't go rushing into an army of the undead, just wait for your team. The Regiments. So the Chaplain is not in every regiment, however the ones that include the Chaplain are France, United Kingdom, Austria, Prussia, Russia, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Portugal, and Bavaria. Much like the medic, they all have their own unique clothing to go along with their regiment. The loadout. One of the loadouts will already be equipped with something called the Blessing, which has previously been explained. However, the one that has the ability to select Water Bucket or the Jack-o'-lantern. It's not the biggest difference in the world, but it still is a change nonetheless. Finally, I'd just like to say that the Chaplain is a useful class, but it's not the best class in the world. I do personally think that it could have a few further improvements weapons-wise. I know it might not fit the whole theme of the Napoleon War, but it would still be nice to have a weapon that deals moderate damage as opposed to a flimsy little Stake, or maybe up in the damage of it, I don't know. Other than that, thanks for watching, like the video if you enjoyed, and I shall see you all in the next one. Bye.